Hello everyone, my name's Damien Hine and I'm the author of the Half Mark Chronicles, a brand new epic fantasy trilogy which is being released in the year 2021. This week I am reading out a brand new exclusive short story which is separate to the books, takes place between book 1 and 2, and you won't find it in those pages. It is new material which I have written for you to enjoy this week. So in the previous video I explained some of the key concepts that you're going to need to understand if you haven't read the first book, if you're completely unfamiliar with the world of Risiva. So if you are new to these books, I would encourage you to go back and watch that video because it will put in place some key things that you need to understand so that you can fully enjoy this story. So without much further ado, I'm going to get right in. So this is the first part of Trial of the Wanderer. I hope you're sitting comfortably. Socorus and Vandria spilled through the door of his chamber laughing. It had been a bright, warm day in Islataria, and General Ithriel's children had only served to warm it further. Thanks to an extra inspection of the city's defences, she had asked them to take care of the little ones for the day. They had only been too happy to oblige. Did you see her face? Socorus snorted. It was like she really thought it would happen. After a morning of trying delicacy after delicacy in the markets, a horse riding lesson for Kedgia, and a chance encounter with a whole thicket of raspberry bushes down by the river, Sujia had spun round and fixed them with a glare. Her adorable little face was crimson-cheeked, partly from an excess of running around, partly from a generous smearing of berry juice. "I'm coming home with you," she declared, stamping a little boot to make quite certain she was understood. It had taken quite some convincing, aided by a good amount of tickling, to convince her to return to her real home. Yes, the day had been a success, and now Vandria was perched on the bed, with Socorus by the window. "You're pretty good with kids, you know." "Thanks." He pressed his lips into a smile, trying to ignore the sting. "Imagine being so used to your own mother. You'd pick new parents on a whim. You're pretty good yourself." "Comes from picking up after you all the time." "Oh, shut up." She lapsed into another bout of giggles and slid back on the bed. Socorus smirked and turned to the north window. After gaining King Ondor's trust last summer, he'd spent 2 weeks in this tower healing the wounds of a crushing incarceration. Upon returning from Castleby and his trials, they'd given it to him again. In all Risiva, it was the closest thing he had to a home. The sun was dipping in the west now, and there it was, the scorched mountain, the mountain of trials. Strange to think, 6 months had passed since he was there. The memories were close enough he could have reached out and touched them. There was something hypnotic about the way the charred slopes caught the streams of amber light and glowed as if they themselves were on fire. Perhaps that was how they had come to be charred in the first place. Lying against the bed, Vandria had gone still. He turned back to gaze at her, and his skin tingled. There were so many things to ask her, so much to say. A rippling pool of possibility. The tide went out, and a single question remained. "Vandria, I've never asked you. What was your trial?" "Mine?" She let the word rest in the air, though it was clear what he meant. Lightspark trials were personal territory, unique to the seeker. Half test, half preparation for the destiny ahead. Sure, he knew the result of hers, but he sensed the tale would help him see her more clearly. He waited as she decided whether to relive the tale. "The dust drake," she murmured at last. The whispered words made the hair on the back of his neck stand up. "All right, I'll tell you." So there we go. That's the end of the first part of our story. You'll have to wait till tomorrow to hear part 2. I hope you enjoyed it.